I tried 260 on a deadlift again today, and again I failed, but I'm happy. I'm happy for the simple reason that I felt very, very good deadlifting today. And today was, the deadlift came after 10 sets of 5 front squat at 100 kilos. So lots of volume. After all of those front squats, trying to keep erect, trying to look up, engaging the upper thoracic, upper back region, extension from basically the neck all the way down, man, like all the way down the spine. Everything's fighting that bar to keep it, in that front rack position. So I did that. Took me, I don't know, half an hour to do those 10 sets, maybe even more. And then I started deadlifting and I started feeling amazing, man. Even though I'm pre-fatigued in my back and all that stuff that the front squat does, I felt good. I felt like I was in good positions. It's strange. It's really, really strange what the front squat has been doing to me. It's improving my back squat. It's improving my deadlift. I can't believe the effect it's having on me. I spoke about this. I left it out for about 2 months out of the program, and I started feeling a deterioration of I don't know, structural integrity. My shoulders started rounding and all this sort of stuff. And I try to supplement some of these ideas. I try to supplement this weakness of the upper back, with lat training, direct lat training, with pull-ups, rows, all this sort of stuff, dips. I even tried dips, the calisthenics, even though I don't think the dips do much for lats, but I was doing all these things and nothing was addressing that, shoulder pinching down at the start of the deadlift. And now that I've done front squats now for a few weeks, it seems like my back is erect. I'm feeling strong. So after 10 sets of 5, I get to the deadlift, I do 240, and I'm like, man, that felt really good. I felt strong off the floor. There's power there again. I feel confident off the floor, and that's purely as a result of these front squats. I loaded 260, and I hesitated. I'm like, why am I doing this 260 business, man? I thought about 250, then I thought about 260, and then I thought about, okay, let's just go home now. I just couldn't walk away from it with this in the back of my mind. I really wanted to see on video how I behave with the 260, and I was very, very happy with it. The positioning seems better. I feel stronger, even though I failed really kind of early. I was basically getting ready to fail. I didn't want to grind this thing out, especially after all this front squatting that I did and pre-fatigue my back. I didn't want to risk anything, but I'm very, very happy, even after I failed, because I learned something. I learned that there was progress there. The front squats. So now I'm trying to do these kind of volume sessions for the front squat every once in a while, like maybe 2 times a week. This is on the back of doing a lot of bodyweight squats, man. Today I did 10 sets of 30, so a lot. That's like, that's a lot of, bodyweight squats. And then I get into this, squatting routine. The front squat hit one. What did I hit? 150 today? I think 150. And then these front squats. So I'm doing a lot of leg work at the moment. My quads, I feel like, have never been bigger. Never have I felt my quads. Every step that I walk around now, I feel them. I've basically had this like low level quad soreness now. It seems like about a week. And I continually come back and I continually hit it. It's not every day that I hit 300 bodyweight squats. But I'm hitting maybe at least, what would I say, 150 at least, 150, something like that every single day. I'm thinking tomorrow I might have a slower day because I've done all this volume. And with that, also front squats, man, my traps, man. These are the 2 muscle groups that I when I look at somebody, man, and I see big quads and big traps, that whole wrestler look, I don't know, such power muscles. I don't know what it is about them, but I actually quite aesthetically like big traps. I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't want those traps because it takes away from that shoulder width. Not that I'm a bodybuilder or anything like that. For me, when I look at somebody and I see certain body parts well developed, like, big forearms, big traps, big quads, or big legs in general, I know they can move. They can move weight, they can flick you around, they can wrestle, they can do all that stuff. And to me, that kind of shows power. And this is what front squats are doing, man. It's like a one-stop a shop for all your needs, man. When it comes to power development, it's just it's such a powerful movement. It is a mongrel. It's a mongrel to like just exist under the bar in that position on my left side, on my left side collarbone. Maybe I'll upload a photo at the end of this. You'll see that I've got like a scar basically forming on my left collarbone. Maybe I'll put that at the end of the video. You guys will see. It's kind of like a discoloration. It was kind of like really red and kind of painful when I first started front squatting, maybe like last week or something. But now like it's still discolored, but it doesn't hurt. It's kind of weird. I feel like it's gone numb. All that area's gone numb. I'm just kind of feeling the shoulder now. There's bruising in the shoulder as well. But that's kind of the stuff you have to deal with. I'm front squatting every day now. That's a lot. I thought about like putting on some sort of leaving the jumper on, kind of go hard, but leaving the jumper on, just a bit of cushioning. But regardless whether you have a t-shirt, a jumper, or it's just bar straight on the bone, the pressure's there. And I think because of that pressure, the skin's kind of getting pissed off. I don't know whether you guys, what you recommend. I know I've seen Chinese weightlifters put like those little tea towels, some sort of like small towel over the bar when they're doing like really heavy front rack holds, because they're using like 300 kilos on the, that's a lot of weight for bar on bone type of thing. But one of you guys actually recommended for me to do those like front squat or front rack, front squat, pin squats. And the first thing I thought about was just the collarbone, just getting absolutely smashed. That's a lot of weight for that bone to cope. Whereas with the back squat, there's meat there, and there's meat between the bar and the bone. With this, it's kind of like there's no meat there. You can't put meat all over the collarbone. It's just impossible. But there it is, just a whole lot of front squatting. One of you guys actually said to me as well, I don't know whether it was a link a few days ago or something like that. I want to say even last week, somebody gave me, I think it was a link of somebody talking about putting on 100 pounds to their deadlift after not deadlifting for like a year. I can't remember who did that. It was just all front squats. So they concentrated on front squats for a year without doing any deadlifting, came back to deadlifting, bang, 100 pounds more on the deadlift. I mean, that's some crazy stuff, right? And I think that's because you are fighting so hard to keep that spine extension, thoracic, mid-back, lower back. Everything's fighting to keep that bar. You want that verticality of the torso, and that doesn't come passively. That has to be an active fight for you to keep that bar there on that shelf. I've kind of started messing around with wider stance front squats. That helps to keep upright, and also that kind of engages more quads as well. But I think right now, literally, like me, I'm kind of extreme when it comes to this, and I'm almost like a minimalist at heart. Really, when I find something of this value, I'm like, nothing else matters, man. Nothing. Let's put all recovery points into front squat. Just front squat, front squat, front squat, front squat. Today I did those bodyweight squats, and I went to front squats and did some deadlifting. I mean, deadlifting's there purely for kind of just like a finger on the pulse type thing, where it's kind of like a barometer of how I'm progressing, how the bar feels. But yeah, it's the front squats, man. The front squats make my deadlift feel strong. I don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint it. I think it's got something to do with the mid-back, upper back, rigidity. I'm more explosive off the ground. And I don't think it's purely just because of quads. I really don't think that. I think for people with short arms like me, that have that bent over, almost horizontal back to ground, our biggest trouble is, speed off the floor. Breaking that bar off the floor is what we struggle with. For people that have really long arms and, when they stand erect, their arms are like at the knees, they don't have to worry about that, because they're starting with a more open, more upright back angle. And so it's not, they look like I look like when I'm doing a rack pull. They're doing rack pulls in my eyes. But for us that are kind of leaning over a whole bunch, it's an upper back thing, man. there's more to it, obviously, but I feel like the upper back, when that gets, the traps develop, those thoracic erectors, when that gets developed, you just have speed off the ground, because when you push into the floor, it's not like a suspension type thing where the power just bleeds out because it's a wobbly fishing rod at the end of it. No matter how much you pull, the thing bends and the bar doesn't move because there's no force being translated through the spine into the bar. So no matter how hard you have legs and whatever, lower back, if all that force bleeds out in the upper back, then you've done nothing. So if you can solidify that spine and you can transfer that force from the hips into the bar through that spine, then you see the bar move. And I think that's what's happening with these front squats is, like I keep saying, front squats are all about upper back, man. It's an upper back war. The moment you're on rack, you have to keep that on. You don't have to think about mind muscle connection. You're just thinking about keep that back erect. You just want that bar there. It's just you don't need to think about anything. It's a fight. Just extend your back all the way from neck down. That's the trick of it all is. And I think that's why front squats help us short-armed deadlifters from the floor. I think that's what's happening. So if you're somebody that fits that type of profile, somebody that has shorter arms and has a more bent over position when it comes to deadlifting, you got to start doing front squats. Simple as that. I mean, I'm sure there's other means about doing this, but a 100-kilo front squat does everything I need. And judging by all the other weights that I do with the back squat and the deadlift, that's the cheapest thing you can go for. I mean, it's 100 kilos and you get such a really good response from the body. And that translates to that big stuff, the deadlift and the back squat. So I think it's a no-brainer. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, it's probably been too many days since I've last done a volume session like this for the upper back or for the front squats. My life's kind of been busy last few days or whatever, lots going on. So I haven't really been eating all that much. I feel like I'm down to 2 meals a day now. I've just eaten dinner. I'm thinking to myself, I haven't eaten enough today. And I haven't eaten enough yesterday and the day before. So, it's not good, man, but it is what it is. That's what life is about. But yeah, if you're somebody that's short-armed, man, front squats, get into it. I know it sucks. A lot of you guys want to do kind of that cross-arm version. I would say, invest some time, invest some recovery points into, getting that proper front rack, Olympic weightlifting style, clean, proper grip on the bar, because I think that taxes the upper back more. When you crisscross, I mean, I don't crisscross, but when you crisscross, I feel like, I don't know, you're not engaging the back in the same extent. You're kind of like internally rotating your shoulders, and that's not really, I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe it's the same thing, but internally rotated shoulders and externally rotated shoulders, I think there's a difference there. So if you want that full carryover to that deadlift, and if you're somebody that's stuck on the floor, you feel like the weights are glued to the floor, I think front squat time for you, man. Honestly, I mean, I've not exhibited 260 today for me to say to you it works, but I feel it. I feel it works. Something is happening. I would not be surprised at all if the next week or so I'll start hitting 260 on a regular basis. The way 260 felt today, but it's just about the positioning. It's like I put energy through my hips into the bar, and it's getting to the bar. It's not just bleeding out. And this is after 10 sets of 5 on the front squat, and still I'm feeling better. So, the deadlift was now at the end of the workout, whereas deadlift in the past used to be at the start of the workout. So, there's a lot going on there. So I think I'm getting better. And I'm happy. I've learned the hard way the last 2 months. The front squats are a freaking staple, man. It's a freaking staple. The only negative thing that I can think of with front squats is the damn wrists. My right wrist is mildly sore ever since that 180 attempt. I'm thinking about this is where you kind of gets out of hand real quick. I'm thinking about doing some pull-ups, some hanging. Because that really kind of feels good on the wrists. I even thought about doing bench pressing. Well, why bench pressing? Because bench pressing is also very good for the wrists. Every time I do bench press for the first time after a bit of a break, what do I feel? I feel that, I don't know what you call it, brachialis muscle. It's that forearm muscle that kind of crosses the elbow. It's kind of on top of the arm. I feel that, and I don't know what it is about it. So benching hits my forearms pretty good. Obviously, hanging off a bar doing pull-ups also works the wrists. I feel like my wrists are not getting enough work, and I think if I put that in, there'll be more blood flow to the wrists and forearms, and I'll start feeling longer in that joint, and I'll feel better. But yeah, see how it gets out of hand real quick, man. Obviously, if I start doing pull-ups, that's going to tax my back, and that's going to take away from the deadlift. So I heard somebody talk about it the other day about doing pull-ups and deadlifts together, and how do you distribute those recovery points. If you want deadlift to be a main movement in your program, doing pull-ups might deter from those recovery points. But anyway, this is kind of like, you want to treat the wrist, you want to train the forearms. Maybe bench press is the best way, or even like overhead press or something like that. But I think bench press is better because you're handling more weight, and there's more weight to the wrist. Anyway, I'm going to put up a picture now of my collarbone. You guys will get to see it. It's a bit gnarly, but whatever. I think it's part of being a front squatter. All right, guys. Appreciate everyone on the list, on the Patreon list, comments, and I guess I'll see you in the comment section. Peace out.